Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We are currently at cruising altitude. So far so good, sunny skies, everything clear. Should be a smooth ride for us. Sit back, enjoy the in-flight entertainment, and thank you for joining us today. Ladies and gentlemen, I've just turned on the seatbelt sign. We are experiencing a little bit of turbulence, so please remain seated. If you are up and about in the cabin, please sit down. Nothing to be afraid of, just a little bit of a bump. Oh God! There's so much turbulence! Ladies and gentlemen, brace! Brace! Holy! I don't know what's happening! Oh my God! Oh my God! Brace! Brace! What the hell is Gilville?
Welcome to Gilville. Today is a very special episode. It's our first ever video edition. And if you look around the room, you'll see we have a few new faces here. We'll get to that in a second. But first off, Adam, why don't you say hello?
Hello, Gilville viewers.
And for those of you that are new here, you should check out the Welcome to Gilville video. But Cliff Notes, Gilville is a great town. It's an amazing place where there is no pain, there is no suffering, and the trials and tribulations of daily life, they're gone. You come here and everything is amazing. It's a town that I am named after. My name's Gil.
I'm Adam.
And the two of us were sent here on a secret grant from a mysterious benefactor. We'll find out who that is in a later episode to revitalize the town. Because Gilville is a great town, but Alon, what is it?
A ghost town.
It's been abandoned for decades, so we're going to bring it back. There's some new faces around here. Why don't you introduce yourself, Daniel?
Hi, I'm Daniel. I'm Gil's youngest brother.
I'm Alun. I'm the one who earlier pointed out that Gilville is currently a ghost town.
That is accurate.
I'm Shataz, new to Gilville. Very excited to be here.
Yeah, welcome to Gilville.
Thank you.
Everybody. And Shataz, you're not my brother, but I would say easily you're one of my top 250 best friends of all time.
I'll take it. That's not bad.
So, let's start out in prison. So, Adam and I, we went to sleep at the end of last episode, and we mysteriously woke up inside of a prison. And why are we here, Adam?
Well, this is the Department of Corrections, and we have a couple of corrections to issue about things we've said in previous episodes.
We made a few mistakes, and we need to own up to that. So, episode 2 of Gilville, the Jamaica Field Report, a few mistakes have been reported to us. Number 1, we miscredited Bob Marley with the song Don't Worry, Be Happy. And this was pointed out by Oren, that's our even older brother who's not here today. Shita, so who sung the song Don't Worry, Be Happy? And be careful, because if you get this wrong, you land us right back in prison again.
Yeah.
I thought it was that singing fish. You know what I'm talking about?
You thought the fish wrote the song?
Yes, I did.
The one on the wall?
The one on the wall.
Like the bass.
The singing bass that always sings "Don't worry, be happy."
The McDonald's Filet-O-Fish.
Yeah. Bring me back that fillet of fish.
Bring me that fish.
Wait, that's not it, right? Bring me back?
Bring me that back.
Bring me... Well, so...
Neither of these sound right.
No. So, just to add a little bit more context here, these prisons, these locks will only open once we've accurately reflected the facts that we got wrong last time. So we have to get this right, or else we can't get to any of these other great places I've got lined up.
Do you have the answer written down?
Well, it's Bobby McFerrin.
Okay.
And I know that because Oren told me. So that's fact number 1.
That was a real rookie mistake.
Yeah, I know. But so the song we were thinking of was let's all do all together. Let's get together.
And
Feel all right.
Yeah, exactly. That's Bob Marley.
Yes.
All right, number 2. Maleficent. I think we said that was the witch from Snow White or Sleeping Beauty. I forget.
It's from
No,
Sleeping
we
Beauty.
said it was
right?
Snow White, but it's actually Sleeping Beauty.
Okay. So Maleficent was the code name for somebody that wronged me in high school. We'll move on from that. And then we have a couple corrections from Alun, actually. So I was telling a lot of anecdotes from Jamaica, and there were a couple of instances on that trip where I was pressured because of my status as eligible bachelor, single. I was the only one on the trip that's not in a relationship. And I said that the tour guide, forced me to take a picture with you a couple times, but it wasn't the tour guide. Who was it?
It was nobody forced you to take a picture with me. I voluntarily chose to sit with you. I thought it might be a nice gesture.
Was it because you felt bad that I might feel like a seventh wheel? There were 3 couples on the trip, so I'd be the 7th wheel.
No, I just thought it would be nice to have a picture together. Yeah.
All right.
Well,
And just like that, the locks of the Gilville Penitentiary have opened. And I'll put in a good sound effect here. The locks opening.
And like a door creaking open.
On the green screen, we'll get a door opening. And now we're
Wait,
free.
what green screen? A door is opening.
Oh, that's right. We're in Gilville. What you see here, this is sort of a, how would you describe this?
It's like a metaphysical realm.
Right, between Gilville and your world. Because Gilville is, I don't know where it's located. Is it on Earth? Is it interdimensional? I don't know. But we're out of prison, and now there's a lot of places we can go. And Shataz, because you're new here, and this is your first time, I want to make you feel welcome. So I'm going to give you the choice of where we go. Are you ready for this? There's a lot of pressure here. Whether this is a good episode or a bad episode is up to you.
Why don't we start at the bar?
Oh, okay. I was going to give you multiple choice, but let's go to the bar. And for the bar, we have today Monkey Shoulder Batch 27 whiskey, smooth and rich. And this is from Shataz. This is a gift, right?
Of course.
This is ours.
Yeah,
All right,
yours.
right here. All right, at the bar. Normally we do this at the end of the episode because nothing bad happens in Gilville. There are no sorrows. The only place we're allowed to discuss sorrows is at the bar.
Now, is it that it's the only place we're allowed to discuss them, or we just physically can't discuss them outside of here?
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like, Alun, let's, before we get into the bar, say something about how you're not feeling great right now.
I'm not feeling great right
Eh? No, do it again, but this time, like,
It won't come
your
out. The
throat
words
just
don't work.
closes up.
now. Oh, we're not in the bar yet.
We're not in the bar yet.
Right. Obviously, I know that. I'm not feeling bad right now.
Right? See that? You can't feel bad here. It's impossible. And now let's go to the bar. All right, we're in the bar. Does anybody have any sorrows?
I'm feeling really bad right now.
Why? Oh, you were just testing to
Yeah.
see if it would work?
It worked.
So one thing I've noticed is that the intention of the coffee shop and the bar was to have a place where we can just chat. But what's actually happens when we go to the coffee shop, we literally discuss the concept of coffee. When we go to the bar, we discuss alcohol. And I wanted to change that. But actually the one thing I could think of to talk about at the bar is alcohol. And what I wanted to say is I feel like this podcast might be giving an impression that we're really into alcohol and drugs, with the drug den. We really don't drink that much, really only on special occasions, like when we visit Gilville. So we started this podcast, Gilville, and I told myself, I'm not going to just talk all about Gilville. Like when I go to work, I'm not going to tell people about it. I didn't want to make a big deal and seem narcissistic. But then a couple weeks ago, we went out for drinks. And it could have been like a movie where I say, I'm not going to talk about Gilville. I'm not going to talk about Gilville. Smash cut to the bar. You all look like you had a bad day. Do you need to go somewhere where you can feel good? Come to Gilville and make sure to sign in to the Apple Podcasts app and give it 5 stars. But then I checked Libsyn afterwards, our podcast host, and I can verify that none of my coworkers downloaded the podcast. Adam, what about you? Any bar talk? Have you told any other people about Gilville just in your daily life?
Yeah, I told my friend Casey.
Yeah, and what was his reaction?
He was really excited. I watched him subscribe right then and there on the spot.
Did he review it on iTunes?
No, but I'll make sure he does.
Dude, this is...
When you say you watched him subscribe, do you mean you pressured him to subscribe?
All right, he wasn't actually in the room, but I found his phone.
You cut his finger off and used it to sign into his phone. Hey, Shataz, does anybody know you're here tonight?
My wife knows I'm here.
Oh, it's too bad.
I did tell a coworker that you and I were going to get together and podcast. Mm-hmm. She found it interesting and entertaining.
She found the fact of it entertaining.
Yes. She's like, oh, that's kind of cool.
You have fun with that.
Yeah. It was one of those.
I'm getting together with my friends to play pretend. We're
What do you
going
mean
to a very
pretend? This
happy
is Gilville.
place.
There are no trials or tribulations in Gilville.
What? So I always say that there's no trials or tribulations in Gilville. What is a tribulation?
I was just going to say that. Have you ever heard the word tribulation in isolation?
No, actually. That's the only context that I've heard the word tribulation being used.
Only in the context of not having tribulations.
Correct.
Or having
having
you having trials and tribulations.
Yeah. And the thing is, I can't say there are no trials or tribulations in Gilville because there's a Gilville courthouse. And we will have trials there.
Yeah.
But I can guarantee no tribulations.
What if it turns out tribulations are it's actually it's like a gladiator match. So if you have a trial, you go to court, but if you have tribulations, it's settled in a blood sport.
Wait.
I was gonna say, is there a Gilville Coliseum?
There is now. I'll just put up a picture of the Gilville Coliseum. Because the wonderful thing about Gilville, I don't know if you knew this, but you can't die in Gilville. So a gladiator match that could go on for hours.
It's really just who gets tired first.
Right.
So it's like cricket.
Explain.
Oh yeah.
The sport of cricket. It can last days.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Oh, yeah.
They go sleep deprived.
No. They break for the day and then they resume.
Oh, it's like a battle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what would determine if a game ended after an hour versus continuing for days on end?
I think you need a certain number of like striking out, the equivalent of striking out. Mm-hmm. I don't know enough about the rules to go into this.
I watched a video recently about how cricket works, and I could not follow it at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Why don't you, let's should we go over to Gilville University and you do your best?
We should learn about cricket.
Well, you're the professor.
Yeah.
You have to teach us about cricket.
Yeah.
Based off of only the knowledge that you have about it right now.
Oh, right now? Okay, I could try. This is going to be pretty bad.
All right. Well, before we do that, does anybody have any other sorrows or bar-related stories? Damn, are you old enough to drink?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Have you ever had alcohol before?
No, this is the first time.
Okay. All right, this will be fun. You can't die in Gilville, so you can just drink as much as you want.
I'd rather go to the Coliseum then.
Now, one thing, though, we haven't tested yet is if you meet the conditions for death within the boundaries of Gilville. Like, let's say you lick a poisonous frog. We talked about this in the last episode. And then you step outside of Gilville. Does the poison then take effect?
I imagine that whatever happens to you in Gilville resets once you leave.
Yeah, there's actually evidence for that.
So whatever happens in Gilville stays in Gilville.
Right, but it's literally true.
Well, so have you ever
What about the
left
memories?
Gilville? Like, has anyone ever left and come back?
I went to Jamaica. Yeah, episode. Hold on. Have you not listened to this podcast? Episode 2. I went to Jamaica. Jamaica feels.
He's
I
been
thought
very
Jamaica-
busy.
I thought Jamaica was like in Gilville.
No. Jamaica.
What's Jamaica?
All right, he's on pause. You've had a little bit too much of the shoulder monkey.
I think he's thinking of the neighborhood within Gilville of Little Jamaica.
Oh, okay. Wait, did you look at my notes? I told you not to look at these.
Was that a note?
No. But the word "little" will come into play later, and
okay.
that's a hint. All right, let's leave.
I don't know what to make of that.
Should we leave the bar?
Let's leave the bar.
Okay. You want to go to Gilville University?
Let's do it.
All right. This is the first time we've stepped into Gilville University. and we're now in Gilville University.
All right, everyone, adjust your posture.
Right,
Appeal nice and dignified.
No more. You have to say only smart things from now on.
This is a place of
I should probably put my
sophistication.
drink away.
Right. Because we're trying to revitalize the town of Gilville. And one idea we had was if we could get a basketball team at the Gilville University, and then we could get into the March Madness, and we could win basketball.
You know, we actually have enough players now.
How many players do you need?
You need 5 on a
5.
court. We have no subs.
Oh, and
but
Shataz, you can't tell because he's sitting. He's super tall. He's like as tall as Vince Vaughn.
Is Vince Vaughn tall?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess he is tall, right?
it's not really noticeable because he's usually in comedies. They don't really point out his physical build. But if you watch one of my favorite movies of all time, Brawl in Cell Block 99, his physicality plays a huge role in that movie, and he's super tall.
Aren't most actors shorter than average?
Tom Cruise is very short.
Yeah, he's like 5'2".
Yeah. We met him, kind of.
Well, we didn't meet him. We saw him
Right.
closely.
We were in L.A., and there was a big crowd. It was right around the time that movie, what was it, Rock of Ages, I think? This, whatever.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah, that was the
remember
movie
the
with Tom
movie,
Cruise,
yeah.
right? That movie was coming out, so there's a big premiere going on, and we saw this big crowd swarming, and we were, what is this? And we kind of got closer, and we saw Tom Cruise standing there. And I was like, whatever, let's get out of here. And Alon was like frothing out the mouth, like, I want to get a picture with him. Come on.
That doesn't sound right. Although the guy next to me was like that. There was this big dude right next to me, like literally trying to push people out of the way to get to Tom
Fangirling
Cruise.
Frothing
over
at the
Tom
mouth.
He was
Cruise.
frothing at the mouth, and he was sweating. His skin, there was so cramped there. His skin
God.
touched my skin,
Oh.
and it was kind of like.
What do you think he wanted from him? Just a photo?
Photo, autograph.
Some interaction?
Or he might have been a
Some
Scientologist, and Tom Cruise is
true.
God to him.
Yeah.
I actually don't know if he's actually 5'2", but he's pretty small.
He's very short, though.
He's a short man.
You know, the average Civil War soldier was 5'5".
Really? Wait,
Yeah.
pause on that. But I do want to, I just remembered the way that you described to me when that guy made contact with you when he was pushing you out of the way. You said it was kind of like Velcro, like his skin pressed against yours and just sort of slowly pulled away from your skin.
Well, you know how like if you got like sap on your hands and the way it's like,
Sack.
Right.
that's what it felt like his skin against
Ooh.
my arm. It was like,
Yeah. And then you had to scrub Tom Cruise fanboy off your
Yeah.
arm. So Civil War. So now we're in Gilville University, and we have our first professor, Professor Adam. What's it called? Adjunct.
That's right.
You're an adjunct professor at Gilville University. Now you're standing up in front of us, and you're telling us about why in the Civil War were people shorter.
Am I just supposed to guess?
Oh, no, you don't know the answer to this?
I don't exactly know why. I think it could have to do with the way maybe our diets have changed.
Well, people like used to be shorter for like most of history, right? Like not just in the Civil War.
Yeah, people are getting taller.
And smarter. Well,
I think
according to
I think we're
IQ
just like
tests.
generally healthier, so maybe we grow more, or maybe we're exposed to more hormones of some kind.
And doesn't that sort of go against the traditional concept of our overall health? I feel like people generally say that we're more unhealthy than ever. And I can say stuff like that because we're in the university. We can make social commentary.
So here's my theory about that. We've made it easier to live in an unhealthy state than it used to be.
Because
So
we're prolonging, we have good medicine so we can prolong life.
yeah, so the average lifespan has increased a lot, even though people seem to think we all live unhealthier lifestyles than people used to live.
Cricket.
Yeah. Okay. So now on to cricket.
Yeah.
Average cricket player is a 3'6".
I just got about 5 times more interested in watching cricket.
you're thinking of horse racing, by the way.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
jockeys. Yeah, they're so tiny.
They are tiny.
Oh, we used to watch horse racing all the time.
That's right, in Saratoga.
That's right. We saw a
Those were good
polo
times.
match once.
We did watch a polo match. That was sweet.
Yeah.
I love polo. I mean, that was the only time I watched a polo match, but loved it.
Maybe
I
we
love that we're talking about the sophisticated sport of polo while we're at the university.
Right.
We're like, we seem so much higher class here.
Right. Rowing. We have to start a rowing. What's that called?
Crew.
Crew. Did you ever play any sports in college or high school?
High school, I played volleyball.
It's all makes sense. What should be the official sport of Gilville? All right, that was our first experience at Gilville University. I would say if I were to reflect on that experience, it was a good one, but I do think we need professors that are more familiar with the subject matter that they are professing on.
I'm the only professor here. I have to know. I have to know about everything. How deep do you expect my knowledge to go? I run an entire university by myself.
And so far, you basically just teach whatever random subject someone thinks about.
Yeah.
So I want to learn about cricket.
You know, that's actually the perfect job for me because I love having a really wide breadth of knowledge, but having very little depth to it. So I've been told I have something to say about everything.
It's true.
So you can just throw anything at me and I'll theorize about it.
Ice luge.
What?
Ice luge. It's an Olympic
Is that
sport.
the Olympic
can't
sport?
make
I didn't
up a
know.
word.
I thought it was just called luge.
Can you not
I don't think it
luge
says
in the
ice
summertime?
before.
Can you luge in the summertime?
Well, they do have the kind that's on wheels.
That's the name of tonight's episode. Can you luge in the summertime?
Oh, that's great.
Wait, Shataz, pick any random subject, and let's see if Adam has something to say about it.
Crickets.
Like the animal.
Yeah, the insect.
So I had a friend growing up, and he had to feed crickets to, I think he had a gecko or something like that, and the crickets kept escaping the box that he was shipped, and so his house just had crickets jumping around it all the time.
All the time.
Yeah, for like a couple of months there.
Were they loud?
They're pretty loud. Well, it depended on the time of day.
Has anyone here ever eaten crickets?
I haven't eaten crickets, but I ate beetle grubs in Zambia.
Oh, actually, I remember we have to go back to the bar for this. All right.
Okay, at some point I should teach cricket.
Okay, we'll come back to that. Well, you don't know anything about cricket. We established
I
that.
know a little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
This is the one thing you've told us so far. You then retracted.
Well, that was a joke.
Oh, okay.
That could have landed us in the Department of Corrections.
True. I mean, we
No,
might end up there.
Cricket
next
players
episode.
are probably pretty fit and strong, I would imagine.
I would think so. I wouldn't. You know what? You should. I don't think you should be coming down on cricket players the way that you did earlier.
They seem very
down.
athletic and skilled people.
That was a good pun.
Right? You caught
Yeah.
it.
What's that?
Well, you were saying
Oh.
Down.
you were saying they're short, and you said coming down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's what I think about cricket.
Okay.
Uh,
So we're still at the Gilville University. So put the picture back up. All right. Thanks, Alon.
so you have two teams that go on opposing sides. They face opposite directions.
Yeah. Just hold the mic.
Yeah, I realize that. I pontificate with my hands.
Well, so what they do is
I'm just trying to get a quick workout in. Okay, so they face each other, and they stand by I think the opposite team's wickets or something like that. Then
and you have to catch the snitch. And if you do that, you get 100 points.
and then one side like pitches it to the other, and there's someone with the bat, and they have to hit.
Can you take a sip of water or something?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, good call.
The bat. It's not like a baseball bat. It's it looks like those fraternity paddles.
Thank you,
Yeah,
sir. May I have
they still
another?
call it a
It
bat.
started as a cricket bat, though.
Yeah.
So the fraternity paddles look like cricket bats.
Right.
Wait, we're in the Gilville University. Who here was in a fraternity?
Gil, you weren't in a fraternity.
What is that supposed to mean? See, I knew you were going to say that. That's
Yeah.
why I wanted to do this.
You were not in a fraternity.
Really? Why do you say that?
It was a finance fraternity.
I was in an organization that had 3 Greek letters assigned to it. I was
If
initiated.
you were in a fraternity, you wouldn't have called it a organization.
Yeah, it's all right. They did have one party.
Does Gilville University have a frat?
It's
Is
yes.
this the frat?
This is it.
Wait, what if while we're in the university, we can go to the frat club to discuss more college-y style topics that are not fit for the academic world?
Oh, okay.
Also, we shouldn't be able to just start in the frat. I think we have to pledge.
Right, and the pledge here, because it's Gilville, and there are no grievous injuries, there is no death. We can do crazy initiation ceremonies, like you have to cut off all your toes and eat them.
So we
They
allow
just grow back.
you allow hazing at the Gilville University.
Well,
Is there embarrassment?
I see what you're trying to do.
Is there embarrassment in Gilville?
You know what? This might be a matter to be
got me.
settled in the court of trials and
Yes,
tribulations.
that was a tribulation. You just
Yeah, I was
tribulated
gonna
me.
say, cutting off all
Now
your
you guys
toes and
have to-
eating them, that kind of feels like a tribulation.
You have to cut off your feet and spend the night in the haunted forest.
What if you
Without your
what
feet.
if we just
Without
build
what?
like a
Without your
recreation?
feet.
What
Wait,
if we
hold
build
on.
like a simulator of the movie Saw and you just wake up as one of the victims?
Why a simulator? Just do the real thing.
Well, that's sort of what I mean. It's
Right.
just because we know it doesn't actually, end their life. We're just basically replicating the scenario.
Right. Unless you leave Gilville, and then we don't know what happens.
It turns out the university is the darkest place in Gilville.
It's actually a dungeon.
Well, in all those movies like Harry Potter, it's always a school with like a hidden dungeon, or you go downstairs, and Gilville University can have a lot of secrets.
Yeah, so far, Gilville University is one guy who knows a little bit about cricket, and then a dungeon with a bunch of people living out the movie Saw,
Dismembered.
so they can get into the fraternity.
Hey, we all had to go through it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you hit the ball with the cricket bat, and you aim for the wickets. And if you hit the wicket with the
What's
ball,
a wicket?
It's like a little stick that goes in the ground.
It's actually
and-
3 sticks.
Oh, it's 3 sticks.
3
yeah.
sticks.
And then I know that you have to, once you hit it, I think you have to try to run to the wicket. And you might have to run back. Is that true, or do you just have to run across it?
So there are 2 batsmen, right? And then, 2 teams, right? So the batting team has 2 batsmen, and they're standing on 2 sides, and there are 2 sets of wickets.
Wait, Gil, why is this funny?
It's because it's so hard to follow.
It is really hard. It's
All
really
you're doing, you're just
complicated.
literally explaining the sport of cricket, like in detail. Like
Well, I
this is
thought
what
we-
will
No
get
one
people
knows
to tune
anything about
in.
I
cricket.
thought we were testing to see how much I could remember.
This is for search engine optimization because nobody else is talking about cricket.
Yeah, so if someone searches cricket podcast, we're going to pop up.
I do want to hear
Welcome
the
to
rest.
Gilville.
You don't
Okay,
want to hear the
all
rest.
right,
I want to hear the rest.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm
so
sorry.
you've
Think
got
about how disappointed that person who searched for cricket podcast is going to be.
this is shoddy explanation of cricket. So you've got 2 batsmen, right? And then you've got a team that's still pitching, but it's called bowling in cricket. So you're bowling this wooden ball at the batsman, and the batsman hits it, and then both batsmen run back and forth, and they score a run each time they're able to make it to the other side.
Okay.
If they're on the other side, that's another run. And if you're a batting player, you can hit it out into the outfield.
Nah,
Nah, just keep. Look, I mean,
Let it ride.
the listeners are gonna be used to it.
Okay.
It happens all the time. We'll get a
all
studio.
right. So you run to the wicket,
Why does Gilville have so many emergencies?
Yeah. and then so you run to the wicket,
Yeah, and so
I
you
keep-
keep running back and forth.
and then like 6 days later, you run back from the wicket.
Well, you keep running back and forth, right?
Right.
Each one scores, I think, 2 points. Now, if you're hitting it out into the outfield, right, this wooden ball, there's a rope perimeter in the cricket field. Seriously, it's a rope that's laid down on the ground. And if it goes past that rope, you get 6 points. If it rolls over the rope, right, so it's like bouncing on the ground and rolls over the rope, you get 4 points.
And once they break for the day, they have to stay exactly where they are. They have their sleeping bags. They stay because they don't have to like record exactly wherever.
They actually sleep in place.
Yeah.
No sleeping bags.
No
required.
sleeping
You just
They're
sleep
like
standing
they're
up.
like horses. They can sleep standing up.
They're just running and then slow down.
So what
So
we've
they stop.
established is that cricket players are 3'6" and they can go into suspended animation. between
But
games.
also in Gilville, cricket would have some type of like sock component to it.
A what component?
Like
The
the
threat
movie
of
Saw.
dismemberment.
Wait, horses sleep standing up?
Yeah.
Where are we off to now, Gil?
Well, I think with Chataz being our guest, I mean, he picked the last location, the bar. So I guess I'll give somebody else a chance to pick.
Yes.
Daniel, you have a few options here.
All right.
We can go to the coffee shop. We can go to the temple, the cinema, the gym, the diner. And there's one other location, but I'm saving it. So we don't have. It's not ready. It's under. What's it called when you renovate something? Renovation.
Construction.
I think it's called renovation.
Yeah.
I want to go to the gym.
The gym?
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the. Daniel wants to get fit for the summer. Let's go to the gym. All right, what do we got at the gym? So recently, my mother ran into my elementary school gym teacher.
Miss.
Don't say her name.
Also, that's not a real name. But.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it was very close to her name.
Yeah, we gotta cut that.
Yeah, we'll bleep that out. And it reminded me of a story about her, but it involves childhood trauma. So I'll have to go to the bar to tell this story.
We just got to the gym. Does everything end up going to the bar?
I have an idea.
Yeah.
It's a lot of walking.
Right.
We keep going back and forth from the bar. Why doesn't every location in Gilville just have a mini bar? It seems like we need it.
That's a great idea.
Well, because we want all the bad stuff to be in one place.
Or it's like Mad Men, where just every conversation, no matter where we are, we have like a glass of scotch.
It's not going to help with what I said earlier, which is that I don't drink that much.
Yeah.
I drink once a month.
Not in Gilville.
Not in Gilville when I'm here. Nothing's off the table. Toes, cutting off toes. Well, does anybody else have gym-related or fitness-related stories before we go to the bar?
That same gym teacher used to call me a chia pet because I would take a long time between haircuts.
Does that count as childhood trauma?
That singled me out a little.
Did you feel bad about it?
No, I thought it was kind of funny.
I think you just reminded me of a second story involving this gym teacher, but that also would be relegated to the bar. Wait, Shataz, you have some gym stories. Zumba, you used to do that all the time.
That's right. We used to Zumba with a woman that both you and I used to work for.
Right. You say we, though. I never Zumba'd. She tried to get me to
right.
Zumba. I
tried to get you to
refused.
Zumba. It was a good time. I mean, no one knew what they were doing, but,
Yeah. If there was Zumba going on in proximity to me now, I would do it. Because I used to be, like you, very anti-dancing. It was like Footloose, but opposite. Everyone else wanted to dance, and I didn't. Footloose?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the opposite situation would be a hand strong.
No, wouldn't it be hand tight?
Hand tight, yeah.
That's right, yeah. But I love dancing now.
But Zumba, I don't think is trendy anymore. When we were at that time, it was a fad.
That's right. Even my mom was doing Zumba at the time.
Yeah.
I haven't even heard the word Zumba until I said it just now. It's probably the first time in about half a decade.
Yeah, same.
Alan, have you ever done Zumba?
Once.
Really? You did Zumba?
Well, it was the Zumba video game
Oh, for the Wii or
for
something?
the Wii. Yeah.
All right. Let's head out of the Gilville gym. Let's head to
That
the
was quick.
bar.
Did you do that alone?
No.
Okay.
I came home one day and found alone in the dark. Like,
Well, I mean, we did have DDR when we were kids.
that's right. Yeah.
So you may have walked in on me dancing at some point.
But that didn't even feel like dancing. It just felt like I'm using a controller with my feet.
Yeah, that's true.
It's true.
I preferred the keyboard version. Stepmania.
Stepmania, yeah.
Just use your fingers.
Although that was made to be compatible with dance pads. It's just that you could use the keyboard if you wanted.
So after DDR, I thought, wow, I'm a pretty proficient dancer because I was doing well in that game. So then we'd go to the bar or to the dance club, and then I would be like doing DDR moves, and Alon would be at the bar like rapidly moving his fingers.
Like the only place at the bar that you can dance is if there's like a pole behind you that you can hold on to, like on the arcade machine.
All right, let's head over to the bar. I was going to put the whiskey on the table, but it's already there. All right. We're at the bar. So this gym teacher, we need a code name. Adam. Well, who's the most Shataz? We need a code name for this gym teacher.
And we don't like this gym teacher?
No. Think like exactly what you would imagine a gym teacher looking like very strong, very like militaristic looking.
She was kind of funny though.
She was. Actually, I bet I was
And
very
her class was fun.
It was. Honestly, I was very sensitive back then. If I saw her now, I'd probably think she's pretty hilarious. Had a very dry sense of humor that just didn't work on me when I was so young.
Yeah.
Well, were you going to say something?
I just completely agree. I think that all of us were probably a little too sensitive when we were younger, and now thinking back at the way she spoke with us, it was probably her sense of humor.
Yeah.
And she was hoping we would just go along with it.
Yeah, let's issue public apology.
We were in elementary
Oh
school.
God, we're in the Department of Corrections
Yeah,
again.
we're back in prison. So, gym teacher, you know who you are. We won't name you. We won't dox you. We apologize.
How have we had like 2 doxing references already?
Yeah. We're sorry, right?
Yeah.
Let's all look at the camera and simultaneously. I guess you're not part of this.
Yeah, I don't know who this person is. But why are you sorry, though? You're
Well-
sorry for being too sensitive to her jokes?
I guess.
Shouldn't she apologize for her jokes not landing?
Actually,
Didn't know her audience
how
well
about
enough?
that? Let me tell you the encounter I had, and it involves apologies. And then you tell me if she owes me an apology,
Perfect.
or I owe her an apology.
So back to the bar.
Right. So we're at the bar, and I'm about to tell a dark story. So I'll take a sip of whiskey and do one of those staring into the distance things, you know. Back in elementary school, I had a gym teacher named. What's the code name?
Just bleep.
Well, you sound almost like you're in like a noir
Yeah.
That's what I was
with this
going
voice.
for.
So, what would be like a noir character name?
Shataz?
I don't know. I mean, the only noir movie I was thinking Sin City. Is there a character from Sin City?
Marv? Wasn't that the name of the guy with the messed up face?
But Marv was awesome, though. He was a
Home
hero.
Alone.
Yeah, that's true. What?
From Home Alone. Marv.
No.
You could just bleep the name.
No, because I'll have to bleep it 100 times.
It's a lot of
Because
work.
I'm going to be saying her name. We can't think of one fake name at all.
Well, you wanted a noir style name.
No, he wanted
was
a
my
noir
idea.
style name.
Maybe are there like any gym teachers and like TV shows or anything that we could reference?
Let's call.
There's Coach Klein from was that like Mad TV or Saturday Night Live or something?
Let's go with that. Coach Klein. So we were playing hockey in gym class. And I loved when we played hockey up until roughly, I would say, sophomore year of high school, because I need another code name. This is another person involved in this story. So there's Coach Klein and Adam.
Is this a peer?
Yeah. Female peer. Trixie, she raised her hockey stick and hit me in the face with it. Anyway, but rewind a decade. And so we were done with hockey for the season. But then Coach Klein announced we're going to play hockey again next week. And I got really excited, and I thought, that's awesome. We get to keep playing. And then I started dancing and singing that we're going to play more hockey or something like that. Then she was like, Gil, are you making fun of me? And then I think I got so scared, I just stopped altogether. And then afterwards, I told my mom about it. And then she said we should go to Coach Klein and explain what happened. And so I told her, I said, I wasn't making fun of you. I was literally excited that we get to continue playing hockey. And then she accepted my apology. But I wasn't apologizing. I wanted her to apologize. So Shataz, you're a level-headed guy. Who's right here? Keep in mind, I'm a 10-year-old kid, and she's a grown adult.
I mean, she's definitely in the wrong, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah?
control
I agree.
yourself. It's a 10-year-old.
Exactly.
You know, how can she?
Are you sure you weren't making fun of her?
I wasn't.
Even if he was, but even if he was making fun of her, I mean, she's the adult here, right?
Well, you have to discipline a child, though. Kids shouldn't be making fun of their teachers.
That's true. You're right about that.
As the only professor at Gilville University, I can agree.
I'm sure you made fun of her like many times though. Like all the kids
We
made
did.
fun of her for different
Wait,
things.
hold on. We were not making fun of you. I've never made fun of you.
Why are you lying? You're gonna get us in the Department of Corrections. You're lying.
Wait, I feel like Alon wants to say something.
I think she's in the wrong.
Yes. And Alon always disagrees with me. So if he agrees with me here, I'm going to take that as
I don't
as
think I
accurate.
always disagree with you.
I see what he's doing.
That was good. That was good. There's a tribulation right there. The other story involving Coach Klein was I used to drink a lot of orange juice. I think we've talked about this on a couple of episodes. So at any given time, there's a lot of liquid in my belly. And I was running, and you could actually hear it sloshing around. And she pointed it out.
That must have been really loud.
It was that loud.
It was, I'm telling you, you're like, blah, blah, blah. That's what we could say.
How is that possible?
And then she said, I'm not making fun of you. It's a good thing. But I think she was making fun of me.
What did she say about it?
I think she said, I can hear liquid sloshing around in your stomach. I mean, while I was in the middle of gym class running around, that stopped me dead in my tracks. I looked at her and she was like, it's not a bad thing. It means you're drinking a lot of water. Little did she know.
It was actually orange
It
juice.
was a bad thing.
That was about 950 calories of...
I think anytime someone has to tell you it's not a bad thing, like it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like they wouldn't feel the need to tell you that otherwise.
So do I owe Coach Klein an apology?
No.
Nah.
No,
Definitely not.
but when you go to the bathroom, like how
No,
is
it's
there
in his
so
stomach.
bladder?
It hasn't moved down to the bladder
You've
yet.
never
Yeah.
felt this sloshing around?
Yeah, but how? Okay, what time is gym class usually? It's like in the middle of the day.
It could be any time, right? There's multiple...
Was it after lunch usually?
No, but this is a good
That is a
question.
long
When
time
did you
ago.
drink the orange juice before you started running? Like immediately before running?
Well, I used
in
to-
the locker room
I-
after you got changed?
I used to take Gatorade bottles, and after they were emptied, I'd fill them with Tropicana orange juice. And so I would be drinking it throughout the day. It's a constant stream.
Wow. I mean,
You're like, imagine you're like a hamster with one of those water things that are upside down. And
Shataj
you're
is
just full
like-
of orange juice. And you have unlimited
no,
access.
I'm so surprised because personally, I really dislike Tropicana orange juice. I think
Oh,
it
wow.
tastes like sawdust. So I'm impressed on multiple
Sawdust?
levels.
That's not true.
Does sawdust
say-
taste like
100%.
oranges?
In regards to apologies, I think she owes you an apology. However, I also feel you owe yourself an apology.
Me.
Why were you doing that to
The
yourself?
orange juice?
Too much orange
I
juice.
thought it was healthy. I thought it was
And
honestly-
skipping around and dancing in gym class and singing.
Isn't that ridiculous though? You grow up, I mean, a lot of people, I grew up thinking fruits and fruit juice were healthy for you.
Right,
They're
you're basically
fruits.
drinking
Should we be
soda.
talking about this at the gym?
Yeah, I had.
Should we go back to the gym?
Getting into nutrition.
Well, it depends.
territory.
Are we still talking about our childhood traumas?
I feel that I've released my... Actually, one last comment on childhood trauma. I think I just actually had a major breakthrough about myself, which is I used to be terrified of dancing. What if it all came back to that moment? The one time I danced publicly, I was chastised for it.
I don't. That theory doesn't hold, and I'll tell you why.
Doesn't hold water? Doesn't hold
Because
orange
one of
juice?
the one of the
Doesn't hold
few
on.
times that I danced publicly as a child, I was complimented on it.
Right, you still hated it?
I still hate it.
But there could have been other events that led to you hating it, rather than that one moment.
Is that one moment?
Respond. All right, let's leave the bar, and I'll give it to Alon. You can choose where we go next. There's the recently constructed Gilville Temple. There's the cinema, the diner, or the bar.
Let's go to the temple.
The temple.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the temple. And the first thing you'll notice, okay, ready? We're at the temple. And the first thing you'll notice about the temple is that there are the remnants of a carnival. Because while Adam was comatose in the drug den, I put on a Purim carnival. For those of you that are unaware, Purim is a holiday in the Jewish tradition. And so I took the Gilville synagogue, the Gilville temple. I had a little carnival for myself. And it was a great time. But I figured while we're here, we can maybe, so Purim was a few days ago. We're a little late to the party. We can have a little carnival of our own. Play a game, maybe. A Purim game. You guys want to learn a little bit about Purim?
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
And actually, let's get in the mood. Let's put this away. All right. Actually, Purim, if you look in the history of it, involved great feasts, including alcoholic beverages. So we'll leave this here. But no talk of trauma, childhood or otherwise. And we will bring out here. So if you're listening to this, I'll describe it to you. But if you watch the video, you'll see me hold up an assortment of Hamantaschens. These are cookies traditionally consumed on the holiday Purim. Shataz, have you ever seen one of these before?
I have not.
Now look at it. Look closely. See that? Describe it to the listeners.
They're
You're not looking
triangular
close
pastries.
enough. Come on.
It's a cylindrical plastic object.
It's a
stuff
plastic
inside.
object containing triangular cookies with some sort of filling inside.
And is that filling open and exposed, or is
It's
it
open.
sort of completely contained?
That's true. That's a good point. It's while it's a filling, it is exposed and open.
Yeah. You want to eat one of these
Sure,
live?
yeah, let's
You've
eat
never
one.
had
Wait,
one before.
I've never had one of these.
Should we have him guess what he thinks those things look like? What?
No. Trust me, I've got a plan for that.
Okay.
Let's put these down.
Okay.
Okay, you'll get one of these as a reward after this game.
As
Perfect.
a treat.
As a treat.
So I have to guess what this looks like.
No. We'll get to that. So for the carnival, we're gonna play a game. It's gonna teach you a little bit about Purim, and you're not Jewish.
No, I'm not.
Okay, we grew up. Our parents both grew up in Israel, so we've learned a lot about the Jewish tradition, the Jewish culture. But you're in a relationship with a Jewish person.
That's right. My wife is Jewish.
So this you can do really well at this, and then show it to her, and she'll be very impressed with you.
Perfect.
All right.
Or you'll do poorly and
And she'll be not so impressed.
Trivia. Purim themed trivia. I have
I love when Gil does trivia.
approximately. I messed up my numbering, so I can't tell. I've got.
When we were growing up, Gil would keep us entertained on long car rides by asking us trivia questions.
What did we call that game?
Triviac Maniac.
That's right.
Nice.
5 questions. Whoever gets the most questions right wins the game. Either way, Shataz, you'll get a participation award no matter what, and that'll be your very own Hamantaschen, and we'll get your live reaction to consuming this pastry.
Get real close to the camera as you.
You want all the noises.
It'll be like Fear Factor.
Yeah.
You have to eat this Hamantaschen. I don't want to do it. Why did you have to bring me to Gilville?
He said he ate grubs earlier.
That's
did you
true.
say that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
Because you asked if I had eaten crickets. I haven't
Yeah,
had
so
crickets,
he would be a good Fear Factor contestant.
One of these
Yeah.
Hamantaschens is grub filled.
Perfect.
You have to grab them upside down so you can't tell which is which.
I went to a restaurant a couple of years ago, and the guy across from me ordered a cricket taco. And I almost had to leave the table because I was gagging watching him eat those crickets.
Yeah, real quick. One time I almost ate salt made out of ants.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Salt?
it was guacamole. We went to this restaurant that like their main focus was making dishes with ants.
Oh,
Black Ant.
Yeah, that was the one. Yeah, so I asked the waitress politely to use normal salt instead. She actually seemed a little disheartened.
So we all made a face when you said it's made of ants, and I wasn't looking, but I bet if I were looking at Shataz, I bet you didn't make a face.
No, I didn't actually.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't it some crazy percentage of the world's population subsists off of insects? It's like a pretty high number, higher than you'd expect.
Yeah, I mean, I would say logically, I mean, it makes no. I mean, why be against it? You know, it's just it's a feeling. You know, the back of your head that grosses me out.
it is kind of just purely emotional.
Can you even get like? I don't think you can get like diseases from
No,
eating
yeah,
insects,
it's just
right?
pure protein. And think, I mean, like lobsters and shrimp, it's like similar.
Well, I don't eat those either.
Well,
I
a
used to-
lot of people
I
eat
used to
lobster
not,
and
but
shrimp.
they taste so good.
Oh, lobster's
It is very
amazing.
good.
In Gilville, you can eat bugs if you want to. But if you don't, nobody will judge you.
So far,
I feel like
so
Shataz
far-
is judging us, though.
That's
No,
why
no,
I
no.
said that.
I think that's great. I like your open bug policy. You can eat whatever you want to
You
do.
just can't do it in front of me.
Yeah.
Actually, here you go. If you eat bugs in Gilville, if I look at you, then I see you eating like a chicken or something. It just visually changes, so I don't have to feel grossed out.
But then are you going to want to go and eat some of it? If
That's
you
true.
see it's chicken and you think it's chicken?
Yeah, what if you're like, give me a bite of that? And
Yeah,
it's
this might not
actually
work out
a
well
bowl
for
of
you.
grubs.
and you taste it, and it feels like chicken and
Why are
everything.
you-
So
the
you're just
one-
like trapped in a hallucination.
I finally found my place in the world. You take me away from me.
It turns to bugs in your
It's
mouth.
like, I love Gilville. You're like, you're eating bugs.
Soylent Green is people.
Gilville is bugs.
Trivia.
Purim trivia.
Yeah, please.
And you want teams or everyone's on their own? Everyone's on
Free
their-
for all.
I think
every-
everyone's on their own, right? There's only
every-
4 of us.
Every man or woman for themselves. Question 1. Don't look at my.
I'm not looking.
Are
at
we
look
just
at my
yelling
screen,
out the
right?
answer? How does this work?
Just say just yell at the
Okay.
answer. But don't yell
Don't
into
yell
the
it.
mic. Yeah.
I wish
Question
I had my
1.
own mic.
And we can consult the audio afterward to see who said it first.
Right. We'll check all that. And these are multiple choice. Now, should the rule be you have to wait for me to say all 4 choices before you answer? Or if you know the answer, you just shout it out?
I think the rule should be you should finish
I have to finish
the
first.
question, yeah.
Okay. If you say the answer first, disqualified from that question.
And then you move on to the next question.
Are you going to say when you're done asking the question?
Yes.
Okay.
Question 1. This Jewish holiday commemorates the saving of the Jewish people from Haman. A. Passover. B. Yom Kippur. C. Hanukkah. D. Purim. Question finished. Purim. I want to say Elon, but maybe only because I was looking at you.
just yelled the loudest.
Let's go. Did you not get that right, Chataz?
I didn't say a word. I didn't say a word.
You're just shell shocked.
I was actually like, is it Yom Kippur?
All right, and maybe don't show this segment to your wife.
No, that's fine.
All right, 1 point to a 1. 1 point to all 3 of you. Yes. 3, a 1, 1, 1, 0. Shataz, I think you're going to turn it around. Hamantaschens, the cookies that Shataz just learned of their existence moments ago. Hamantaschens are meant to signify what? Haman's hat, Esther's house, Haman's ears, or Esther's weapon. Question finished.
Stop yelling.
Oh no!
You just have to
all-
talk quickly. You don't have to
Yeah,
yell.
you're blowing out my
Sorry,
eardrums.
This
You
is
all
sort of
3
unfair
are
'cause we
wrong.
all-
All 3 of you are wrong.
Wrong. No.
What did you say?
We're right. Haman's hat.
Haman's hat.
No.
that?
What do you think?
It absolutely. is
It's not
What are the
Esther's
options
weapon
again?
or Haman's ear.
Haman's hat, Esther's house, Haman's ear, or Esther's weapon.
It's absolutely
Did I
Haman's
say
hat.
Easter?
Esther doesn't have a
I
weapon.
was thinking hat before these guys said it. It's not the hat?
After I told you it's wrong.
Okay, then I
It
guess
is the hat.
second
It is
the
Haman's
weapon?
hat.
No, 0 point. It's his ears.
No.
He had triangle ears.
No.
Haman
No.
did not have elf
Yeah.
ears.
How is
Are
that
you-
possible?
I've
All right.
never been more
Do you
sure
want to go to
anything
the
about
Gilville University?
Yeah,
We will go
professor.
into the archives.
That's true. Professor, please talk about
Haman-
Haman's
all right.
ears.
I'm going on to this is very rare. Gilville is off the grid. We're going to the university. We're going to plug into the network. We're going onto the internet. And I've just Google searched Hamantaschen. And the first result is Wikipedia. And I'm going to scroll down here.
I bet he edited the entry. for this.
Name and symbolism. Symbolizing the money that Haman offered to Achashverosh. That's not right.
So your
That's
questions
what
were
it's-
wrong.
Wait, here we go.
You're-
Hey, in Israel, Hamantaschen are called Oznai Haman, Hebrew for Haman's ears, in reference to their
I do
defeated
remember
enemies'
that.
ears.
Okay.
Now, I will say this. There's no citation for it, and everything else, and it has a question mark there.
I just have to say, I'm 100% confident that throughout our childhood, we learned that it symbolized his hat at synagogue.
And it's like one of those triangular hats.
And who
that-
even decides like what it symbolizes? Like if everyone says it symbolizes the hat, it symbolizes the hat.
Like if you picture like a colonial American,
Yeah.
like Revolutionary War soldier's hat.
All right, let's say this. It's late, so normally I would say let's call my mother. It's too late for that. tomorrow. We'll call her. She is a teacher. She teaches. Actually, I think she once taught a class on the history of Jewish holidays. We'll consult with her, and I will get her as a guest on the podcast, and we'll find out the real answer here. But I believe it's Haman's ears. Alon, we're losing you here. You got to just...
Oh, we have another answer, too, actually. Did you read what was up at that top? Haman's pockets.
All right.
Who has triangle
We'll strike the
pockets?
question from the record.
Yeah,
and
clearly
Who
it's,
cares what his pockets?
Because even if I find out it's his ears, you still all got it wrong, and it won't change the game. So no points for that one. Stricken from the record. Question 3. What is the oldest and most traditional filling that is used for Hamantaschens? A. Apricot. B. Poppy seeds. C. Dates. Or E. Raspberry.
dates.
You didn't say done.
Question finished.
E, raspberry.
seeds.
And also, there was no D.
Alon? Yeah, there was. I named 4 answers.
Yeah, A, B, C, E. What?
Okay.
No.
Since you just called on me, I assume everyone got it wrong.
Well,
so I'll
everyone
go-
answered so far, but more than one person can get it. Well, no, actually, Adam got it right. Poppy seeds.
That's
1
what I was
point.
just gonna say.
Damn.
No.
You did. I saw the word start to come out your mouth. And then,
Well, because I didn't hear you say poppy seed, I heard him say raspberry and him say date, so I'm like, I'll say poppy seed. I didn't think it was apricot.
2 points to Adam. I thought you'd all say apricot because that's a very common filling.
I was originally thinking that, but
it's my favorite.
All right, here's one that I think none of you are going to know. Question, I've lost track of how many questions because of the one we struck from the record, but during a leap year, there is a special extra holiday, a supplementary Purim, a second Purim. What is it called? A, it's Purim. It's just called Purim. B, Purim Achshav. Achshav means now in Hebrew.
Okay.
C, Purim Katan. That means small in Hebrew. Or D, it's not a real holiday. Doesn't exist. Question done.
Not a real holiday.
See, Purim Katan.
Purim Katan.
All right. You both got it right.
No way.
I feel like I had an unfair advantage because
you
you
could
said
say-
the word little was going to come into play at some point.
Everyone heard me say it. That was a hint.
Oh, you did say that was
Yeah,
a hit.
it's
Yeah.
true.
I had no idea what he was talking about before.
So it's 3 points. 1-1-1. And now the tiebreaker. Oh, and if you're curious, what's the difference between Purim and Purim Katan? There's a few differences. For Purim Katan, so traditionally on Purim you send gifts to the poor. On Purim Katan you don't do that. You don't read the Megillah, and there's a few other things. But okay, the last question. This one hits close to home. Earlier today, I was doing research on the holiday Purim. And I went to a website, and when I went to that website, a chat window popped up where they said, just tell us, are you Jewish? Yes or no? What website was that? A, askarabbi.com. B, actually, let me read the full thing to you. So you know how when you go to like a website for tech support, a chat window will pop up and you can just talk to them live to get help? So it was just like that. And what it said exactly was, chat with us anonymously right now. Just tell us, are you Jewish? And it was that A, askarabbi.com. B, worldtemple.com. C, haaretz.com. D, jewsforjesus.com. Oh, it's .org. Or D, E, embraceyourfaith.com. Question done.
Jews for
World
Jesus.
Temple.
Jews for Jesus.
1 point,
Yeah.
but Adam was ahead. So Adam wins.
Juice for Jesus also.
You got a point.
You got a
You
point.
got a point.
Yes.
Adam wins still. Before we leave the temple, first off, Adam, congratulations. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Everyone at Gilville is a winner, but not in this particular game here. So I asked you all before you came here to just think about if you had any fun or interesting anecdotes about Purim from your childhood. And I suspect that we all thought of the same story. So I thought what we could do is let's just start telling it simultaneously to see if that works.
That's why when we were testing the mics, you asked us all to talk at the same time.
We wanted to see if it worked. Right, ready? So one time,
There was,
these groggers,
which are these noise makers
that you spin
they
them
give
around
out.
when you have.
Spin them around.
And everyone
Because
says
someone's
the
dying
same
on them.
thing.
don't like
Shataz, why aren't you
Heyman.
talking?
So when they say Heyman's
All right.
name,
I don't have any childhood memories about Purim.
Really? Oh, let's get, actually, you do now. You have one memory of Purim when you celebrated it tonight.
That's true.
Not a childhood memory.
Well, in Gilville, you're immortal and
You're-
eternal. So
you
this is
have,
basically
like,
childhood.
So I'm
the impressionable, innocent mind state of a child when you're in Gilville.
Exactly. So let's hear. I'll give the background and then I'll pass it over to one of you to Wait, Daniel, do you recall the story we were just telling?
Yeah, with the groggers and they
Yeah,
make
you
the
have no idea.
noise.
You have no idea. Somehow you were left out of this experience. Oh, sorry, I feel bad for it. You looked really hurt when I said that. Groggers, for those of you unfamiliar with the holiday Purim. So, Spark Notes, Shataz. There was a guy named Haman, and he was a real piece of work, kind of like another villain in history whose name started with an H. He actually wanted to exterminate the entire Jewish population. So, to stop that, there was a contest run by the king at the time, King Achashverosh. And he had so Haman went to King Achashverosh and he said, I want to exterminate the Jewish people. Achashverosh said, sure, he was going to do it. But then he had a beauty contest. And Esther, the most beautiful girl, by the way, her name wasn't really Esther. I forget what it was. My mom told me earlier today. I didn't write it down. But they gave her a fake name, Esther, so nobody would know she's Jewish. She entered the beauty contest and won. And then told the king, you know what I would love is if you didn't listen to Haman. And so he said, I'm not going to. In fact, I'm going to hang Haman and his 10 children. So...
And now we're celebrating by eating cookies that look like it's yours.
Exactly. But when you tell the story of Purim, anytime Haman's name is said, you spin a grogger around, a noisemaker. Let's practice. Haman.
Boo!
Exactly. So, Adam. No, you know what? You've had 2 episodes where you've gotten to talk a lot. Let me pass this to Alun. What is the anecdote that we're thinking about involving groggers?
Sure. So at our synagogue, they handed out groggers, and we noticed one day that so on the outside they had like Jewish designs to represent Purim and Jewish tradition. We noticed on the inside, we like to
We would
take
get bored, so we would like take them apart.
yeah. So we got bored. We took apart one of the groggers, and on the inside, it was the exact opposite kind of design. There were the Christmas artwork on the inside of the groggers.
The groggers are
Claus.
sort of metallic, like aluminum, so you could kind of pull them apart. And we did that and found, on the inside was all Christmas themed. And then, as I recall it, we then ran around telling everybody and basically grabbing groggers and ripping them open, and we made a big scene out of it. Like throwing groggers on the ground and stomping on them like, it's all a sham!
Those groggers were a Trojan horse.
Yeah. And that was our, apparently that's the only thing we all remember about Purim.
The instant you asked me if I had any memories, I was like, yes, but it's going to be, I know it's going to be the same as yours.
And then I said, sum up that story in one word.
Grogger.
And the funny thing is, Purim is traditionally considered the Halloween of Judaism because you dress up in costume. I don't remember any of that. All I remember is ripping.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember in synagogue, a lot of people dressed up in costumes, and it wasn't just groggers. People would also bring their own instruments, like trumpets, saxophones.
So anything that
See,
produces.
just make a
if
lot of
more
noise.
Jewish holidays were like that, then I think kids would like them more. They'd want to participate.
Well, it's not even a factor because in Gilville, there is no religion because it's too divisive.
Yeah. This is just information that's been beamed in from the outside.
Are we still in the
In
temple?
fact, Hamantations are illegal in Gilville.
think
We're
so,
making
yeah.
a big exception right now.
Yeah. So before we leave the temple, Shataz, we really want you to have the real Purim experience. So we want you to eat a hamid. We want you to eat a Haman's ear or hat.
Perfect. I'm in.
Or pocket.
So we have a few flavors here.
What? Which one should I try?
This orange one here is apricot.
Okay.
That's my personal favorite.
Okay.
These other two I can't vouch for. I don't even know what they are.
I prefer the raspberry.
I'm gonna go for the raspberry because I prefer raspberry
There you go.
tarts myself. All right, let me give this a try.
And one is in the traditional poppy seed, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, hold it up for the camera so people can see what it looks like.
See, looks just like an ear.
But maybe demonstrate.
Yeah. He's gonna end up in the Gilville hospital with an ear infection. I was like, he did
It's
what?
just like an ear. Exactly.
Like, hold it next to your.
You had
Don't shove
another
it in
case
there.
of Hamantaschen
An
ear.
ear with an open wound. All right, I'm gonna give this a go.
Just eat it right next to
Yeah,
the
eat
mic
that.
so we can hear you chewing it.
Otherwise people won't believe it.
He just immediately vomits. What did you do to me?
This is really good.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Describe it.
You know, it's shortbread like cookie.
I was hoping you'd use that word, shortbread.
Oh, there you
Shataz
go.
is a foodie.
I would never call myself a foodie though.
But you're of that ilk. You like sophisticated. You like good food.
It's true.
Adam,
Like beetle grubs in Zambia.
why are you obsessed with short things?
Oh.
Shortbread.
I just thought shortbread is the perfect word to describe this cookie.
Short
You're all
cricket
you're all
players.
reading and you know.
This is really good.
You just say y'all.
Hamintashins are
Really good.
Shataz's orange juice. Hey guys, what's going on?
Whenever he's in Gilville, it's just constant
Yeah.
blow into his mouth.
And in Gilville, you don't have to worry about that going to your thighs or calves or whatever, because in Gilville, everyone's body is exactly as they want it to be. So apparently that's what Daniel wants to look like. All right. So you like it on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best thing you've ever eaten in your life, 1 being the shrubs you ate.
Well,
That's what it
should
was,
we
right?
keep it like as in the context of dessert foods?
Sure.
Because otherwise, because like these are very good, but the steak is so much higher up on the foods that I like.
Yeah. All right. So compared to every other dessert you've ever had, brownie a la mode, pie a la mode, ice cream.
Various a la modes.
What would, on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you
Hamantaschen a la
put
mode.
this?
I'll give it a 6.
That'd be good.
6.
I mean, it's very good, but I've had great desserts.
All right.
Yeah.
Rabbis, Jewish people. Shataz gives you a 6.
No, like a solid 6. That was good.
Nice try.
Yeah, it was good.
Good.
So if you
Good
put that
effort.
on the scale of an FTI in Gilville University, it's a D-, a 6 out of 10, 60.
It was good.
It's good.
I enjoyed it.
All right. Well, it's getting late. I had a few other places we could go. The diner. Adam hasn't eaten in probably 2 or 3 weeks. The only thing you've consumed is whatever you found in the drug den.
Yeah. I've just been rolling around and just allowing whatever's there to just get absorbed into my skin.
The poppy seeds and the hummus.
Yeah.
Every time you cough, hypodermic needles
Just
come out of
fly
your
out
mouth.
of my lungs.
We could have gone to the cinema tonight. There's a lot to do there. But I can see everybody's fading. I've never seen more tired-looking people staring at me. Let me look at you, Chantal. Keep hitting this mic. Chantal, look at me. Yeah, look at you. Look very tired as
Yeah.
well. So what do you say we call it a night? You all live here now. I don't know if you realize that. So the 3 of you crashed here on an airplane, right?
That's right.
Yeah. You don't
It's
even know.
terrifying.
How did you get here?
I don't know.
You don't even know.
I was driving the plane.
I was driving the plane, flying
I
the
was
plane.
flying the plane. And then turbulence. And then we woke up in Gilville.
I think we should call it a night. Let's go to the Gilville bedroom, and we've got bunk beds here. So I'm gonna take the top bunk. Daniel, you come up, join me. Yeah, take a look at the bed sheets. What do you think?
I like the Ninja Turtle bed sheets.
No, it's not. It's a picture. Well, it's the Ninja Turtles, but I photoshopped your and my faces onto them. So
Do I really have to share a bed with you?
There's only one bunk bed in Gilville.
What happens when more people move to Gilville?
It just gets wider horizontally.
All right, Adam, Alon, Shataz, enjoy the bottom bunk. Adam, what's on your bed sheets?
I see a picture of my face, and it's just kind of It's sleeping. It's
And
a picture of whatever I look like when I'm sleeping is what is on the sheet.
So eyes wide open, staring terrified into the night sky.
Yeah, screaming.
And your eyes, instead of eyeballs, is Alon's face and Shataz's face.
Inside the eyeballs.
Inside their eyeballs is a picture of you, and it just goes on. All right, let's all get comfortable. Let's all lie down. And when I go to bed, what I like to do is I put on a podcast and I listen to that as I fall into a slumber. So what I'll do is I'll turn on last week's episode of Gilville, but we'll listen to that, and let's all just close your eyes and just drift off into a dream world. You heard from Alon and Daniel and my friend Shataz that they didn't even mean to come here to Gilville, but ever since they did, they've never been happier. You're having a great time here, right?
Yeah.
Having a great time.
It's an amazing place. And it's the only thing about Gilville is it's hard to find. So I want to invite you all to join us here, but here's the next best thing. I guess you've already downloaded the podcast if you're hearing this, but subscribe to the podcast in the Apple Podcast app or whichever podcast app you prefer. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're listening to this, you can go to the YouTube channel. There's a link in the description. Maybe you wonder what I look like. You can find out. What does Adam look like? Just watch the video. You know, any of us, really. We're all in the video. And if you really want to, one of these days, I'm going to send out personal invitations. And when you pick up that invite, it will magically transport you to Gilville. But I'm only going to send it to people who leave us a review or give us a rating, preferably 5-star rating.
Yeah.
In the Apple Podcast app. So, if you could do that, that would be awesome. And join us next time on Gilville, where there is no pain, there is no suffering, and there are no tribulations.
But if you do have one, you take it to the Coliseum.
Yeah, you take it to the Coliseum and you work it out there. Have a good night, everybody.